O Rahui Kātani.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. The Māori Party has had mixed views about this bill and the initiative to establish a national identification and tracing system. We're not at all inclined to support legislation just for the sake of legislation to bring about new compliance requirements. And I have to say, one wonders where the line is drawn when it comes to the microchipping of cattle and sheep. So it was with some interest that we looked at the advice from the Privacy Commissioner to the Primary Production Committee. At first we were under some confusion as to whether it was the privacy of sheep, beef and deer that was being talked about when the Privacy Commissioner emphasised the need to properly balance privacy impacts against the public interest in identifying and tracing animals. But in reading further, it seems that the concerns posed by the Commissioner were around search and detention powers and whether or not a warrant should be issued. We certainly have to agree with the Commissioner that this power should only be exercised under warrant. And we also concur with the advice that the reporting requirements should be amended to make it less onerous. In essence, that issue around unnecessary and disproportionate compliance is the one that our caucus found most objectionable about this bill. Quoting from the Privacy Commissioner again, the submission noted that annual information would be required from the National Animal Identification and Tracing Agency. To quote directly, "This provision imposes a high level of compliance costs on my office and the NAIT organisation, which I do not think is necessary." So we will be interested in the response of the Minister about this concern, as it is one which has raised issues for our caucus. All going according to plan, the NAIT system will allow the rapid and accurate tracing of animals from birth to death or live export. It will provide information on the location and movement history of animals, and it should do much to improve biosecurity management. We expect also that the bill will help to manage risks to human health associated with animals. It will help to improve animal productivity, provide market assurances, and support compliance with trading requirements. And these are all worthwhile goals. And I want to refer to another submission which helped us to form our position at this second reading, and that was from the Federation of Māori Authorities. FOMA, of course, represents members comprising ahuwhenua land trusts, Māori incorporations, runanga and Māori trust boards from throughout 11 different rohe across the nation. Collectively, there are some 150 members administering over 800,000 hectares of land on behalf of an estimated 100,000 Māori beneficial owners. So when FOMA speaks, they speak with considerable authority, and accordingly we listen. FOMA's advice was that the NAIT system will add value to our exported agricultural products and that it will allow our produce to be entered into high-value markets which require identification and tracing of agricultural products. And this is a very important issue in terms of fostering and supporting Māori economic development, while at the same time bolstering the reputation of New Zealand products in international markets. To put it simply, FOMA thought that having the ability to track potentially economically damaging diseases such as foot and mouth disease or mad cow disease would be of great value to the Māori economy. It was their opinion that this legislation provides us with an opportunity to be proactive as opposed to reactive to an event of disease outbreak. They also thought that although there will be significant costs for relevant industries to come into line with the NAIT system, that these costs are small in comparison with the huge costs to our economy and international reputation should we have the misfortune to suffer a large-scale disease outbreak. Mr Speaker, I don't want to take up much more time before the House, but I do think that it is going to also be helpful for the environment as well, because if we can track free-range cattle and sheep through this NAIT system, we can find out which are the farms that are not carrying out their responsibilities to keep cattle out of the streams and rivers and into too close proximity with these streams and rivers, which are damaging to the water and to the close environment, to the water. So I do want to say that the Māori Party supports agricultural trade and employment of workers. It also supports an effective and accountable government entity to carry out the purpose of the bill. And we are persuaded by the logic and the experience of a key Māori business to provide support to this bill. Kia ora.
Sandra Gowdy.
Mr. Speaker, I